Hey everyone, this is Tim from YourSix Studios. Today in this video we're going to be looking at the AUG in Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and we're going to be looking at some of the best class setups you can have with this weapon. So let's go ahead and jump into this Call of Duty video right now. The AUG is a viable weapon even at mid-range, and you unlock this weapon at level 5, so you'll be able to use this very early on in your Call of Duty career. Also, this weapon is one of the better guns in the game right now, and I would rank this third place out of all the SMGs. However, I always think of this gun more as an assault rifle than a submachine gun, just because of the extended range you have with this weapon. And here are the base stats for the AUG. It has very good accuracy, damage, range, fire rate, and mobility, making this a very well-rounded weapon. One of the downsides of this weapon, however, is the base AUG only has 25 rounds per magazine, which means you can run out of bullets when you're engaging targets. And in close range, the AUG is a 4-hit shot to the torso. And at far range, this is a 5-hit kill with the AUG, just with the default class setup right now, which makes this weapon quite effective at long range. And also, this weapon has a fairly quick aim down sights just for the base AUG. And the AUG has very manageable aiming down sights stability. Let's go ahead and take a look at the recoil pattern with the AUG, and it's pretty much straight up and to the right. Now let's do it with all my attachments on. It's going to be much more straight, and your first couple of shots are going to be better grouped together. Let's go up and examine the recoil pattern. And as you can see, the first couple shots are going to be much more grouped together versus the base AUG. And the recoil is extremely controllable because of the horizontal pattern going straight up. And here's an example of the recoil at long range moving. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look at my weapon classes for the AUG. Starting with my long range setup right now, I'm going to dive into my primary weapon and go to my gunsmith. I do have the muzzle compensator on for recoil control. And then over to the barrel, I have the long barrel on, which will increase your damage range, bullet velocity, and recoil control. And moving over to my underbarrel, I have found the Ranger foregrip is a little bit better than the other ones, like the Merc or the Operator foregrip, because of the extra added aiming stability. When you're aiming with the AUG, it does have a relatively straight up recoil, and the little bit of stability helps with your first couple of shots quite a bit. And then moving over to my ammunition, the 5.56 NATO round is definitely important because it will increase your range and your damage. If you look at the range category, it is increased by at least 10%. Also, you'll be adding 5 extra rounds to your magazine, up from 25. And then for my rear grip, I do have the stippled grip tape on for extra speed when I'm aiming down sights, and my sprint to fire speed is also increased. However, there is a pretty big con here, and that's the aiming stability. But with the Ranger foregrip, we are countering that. So this is an all-around great weapon setup. Provides you long range with good recoil control and stability, and your AUG effectively becomes an assault rifle, even though it's listed as a submachine gun. So the AUG is a pretty solid all-around gun. Now let's go to my run and gun setup right now for the AUG. I have the monolithic suppressor on, which will add sound suppression, keeps you off the radar, keeps you off the directional map. And this will provide you extra accuracy and extra range with a kind of aim down sight speed and aiming steadiness. Let's go on over to my barrel. Instead of the long barrel, I am just using the first option, the extended barrel, which will increase your damage range, bullet velocity, recoil control with kind of aim down sight speed. And then I am using a stock on this setup, the Forged Tac CQB COM, which will add you some extra aim down sight speed with a negative of aiming stability. Then I do like the stippled grip tape on pretty much all my setups because of that Sprint to Fire Pro. And also the aim down sight speed increase also. So the Sprint to Fire is just worth it by itself. That's huge in terms of getting your weapon up for the enemy. And then let's go over to my underbarrel. And I am using the Commando foregrip, which is great. If you look at my accuracy, range, and control, all those are increased. And there is no negative to my aim down sight speed. Now let's go ahead and back out and look at my rest of my setup here. I am using the Desert Eagle, and the Desert Eagle, I typically have this setup on the Forge Tack Enforcer for my barrel, the lightweight trigger, which will increase my rate of fire, and the stipple grip tape once again, so I aim down sights faster and aim faster after running. And then you always have to have fully loaded on to have your max starting ammo if you're going to be using the Desert Eagle a lot. Otherwise, you're only going to have like 15 rounds for the Desert Eagle, and then the monolithic suppressor will increase your damage range and provide you sound suppression. And this is what I love to run for my perk setup pretty much on all my classes. AUG will get changed out with cold-blooded when someone calls in a kill streak that's really high and I don't want to get killed by chopper gunners repeatedly, or the VTOL jets. And then I'm having Ghost on for my perk 2, and this will get turned out for kill chain when I'm really trying to get my high-end streaks. And then I really love Tracker because it allows me to dictate what direction I run when I'm going through buildings if I see footsteps, as opposed to just slowing down and camping and moving slower. Tracker allows me to speed up my gameplay. And then I really enjoyed the proximity mine. It's really good actually. And it's a lot easier to throw out when you're running around. You can just throw it around a corner and just keep trucking on when you're running and gunning. And then I typically have on the smoke grenade or the flash grenade or the stim. I like the smoke grenade because it does provide me a little bit of cover when I'm moving through tight corridors and I want to advance my position. And this will be the same pretty much throughout my two classes. I'll switch up my lethal and tactical and maybe put on the flashbang here and there. And then for my field upgrades, I typically have on Dead Silence and Tactical Insertion, or a combination of Dead Silence and Stopping Power. And then for my kill streak, this is what I've been enjoying: the Cruise Missile, the Wilson, and the VTOL. Especially when I'm not running kill chain, this will provide me some higher end kill streaks that will get me about 5 to 10 kills if I do get them. The Wilson alone, sometimes it can get you 10 to 15 kills if you get them in a nice spawn trap. I've been enjoying using the AUG, and I can definitely say this is definitely one of the better weapons in Call of Duty Modern Warfare right now. It's an overall good weapon at just about every category. It's effective at short and medium range with good recoil control and stability, and has a high fire rate. And I want to know your experiences using the AUG in Call of Duty Modern Warfare right now. Let me know if you like it or hate it in the comments section down below. And if you want to see more class guide setups like this, go ahead and subscribe to my channel and leave this video a thumbs up. And check out more videos coming up next on YourSixStudios.